Today I have an extremely special guest with me, Miss Priscilla. She goes by Prissy Passion.
Come up with a plan of how you're going to do it. Okay, I'm gonna have a positive mindset. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep doing what I've been doing until my body say I can't do it. That's some of the things that I did. Just listening to your body while listening to the doctors. Understand your body because everybody is different. You like, okay, I'm staying in the house, don't come around. I'm changing this, I'm changing that. So I did a lot of things. I of course, drunk my herbs, drunk my tea. I was already into it. Cancer is different for everybody, but then they go and give you this plan that say this is a treatment plan that typically works for everyone. So I was like, I question that. It's your body. And a lot of people, when they go through treatment, they don't realize that you can say, you don't necessarily have to say, I don't want to do treatment, but at any point during treatment, you can say, okay, I need a break. If I'm taking in sugar and other heavy things, that's also going to break my body down. If this is going to break my body down, what build my body up? And that's how I will balance my treatment. From what you eat, what you think, what you say, who you're around, the sleep, the calmness, everything is a part of the healing to help you just push through.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of BeastVsZombie. Today I have an extremely special guest with me, Miss Priscilla. She goes by Prissy Passion. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Let's get right into it. The first question that I wanted to ask you is, you've gone through challenges in your life, raising kids, overcoming cancer. What is the mindset behind going through tough things in your life and using it to build you up into the woman you are today, opposed to letting it break you down?
Believing whatever goals you have, that's why they say it's important to write them down. If you believe in your goals and faith and the promises that you was given, it'll help you get through anything. When I was diagnosed with cancer, it was my mindset. That's I used to post a lot and say mind over matter because that was the biggest thing to me. It's like as long as I told myself I was going to heal, I believed it. I truly believed it, and then it happened. I just stayed. I never wanted to be like sad or bitter. So that was like one of my biggest things. I used to say, I just don't want to be sad. So it just kept me going and kept me pushing through. Mind over matter.
Mind over matter. Yes, that's important, and that's that's the commonality between everybody that I talk to. I talk to cancer survivors on a regular basis, and it's a big mental thing, right? It's obviously physical. We're going through procedures, we're going through treatments that are is breaking our body down physically, right? But the mental part of it is is really the battle,
That's
right?
the
And
battle,
being
yes.
able, yes,
That is the
and being
battle.
able to stay, really just stay positive and believing in something, whatever you believe in, right?
Yes, and
Is
don't get me wrong, it's not easy. And I know some of us, that's why I'm glad you're doing this because those of us who are not big on mind over matter or your mind may be clouded because you get a lot of information thrown at you. We all don't have motivation or have this mindset. But I'm here to tell you it's legit the mind. But you have to help the mind. I had to change my playlist. I was typically eating healthy, but I had to eat even healthier. But I had to write a lot of things down because going through chemo and anybody, whether you sick or not, a lot of information coming at you. You're going to lose some, or you may get scared. That fear may kick in, but you got to kick fear right back out and just hold on. Like I got this. I'm going to do this, but come up with a plan. Come up with a plan of how you're going to do it. Okay, I'm gonna have a positive mindset. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep doing what I've been doing until my body say I can't do it. That's some of the things that I did. Just listening to your body while listening to the doctors. Just while also just focusing on your faith and keeping that front and center. But it's like it's a combo of everything. It's a combo of everything. And then you just got to know yourself to push through. You got to know when you need to rest, know when you need to push through, know when you need to tell somebody, I need a hug, because that was my like You sometimes just, I need a hug. I don't need the medicine. I don't need a ride. I need a hug. Like, just embrace me. So it's a lot. You got to come up with a plan when you're going through anything.
Yes, I agree. And like you said earlier, writing goals down, having a plan, having a direction is the most important thing in life in general, not just
Yeah, not even
overcoming
when you're just
cancer.
sick.
Right. Yes. And so I totally agree with that. I'm glad you shared that. And the mental part is such a big deal. And right, like we're humans, our mind is powerful, right? And you have to use it, like you said, in a way that it's meant to be used, right? The diet part, like you said, right, you were already kind of eating healthy, but you had to change your mindset a little bit. Like, for example, the things that your playlist, right? The things that you were
Yes.
taking in. Your diet doesn't just involve things that you eat,
Oh
it
no, it's your
involves your
whole
environment.
environment. Yes.
Exactly.
Your
It's your
environment, your
environment.
surroundings, everything, your thoughts, mainly your thoughts, because you can put on a front for people. You could look strong, but then when you're by yourself, you got to really make sure those thoughts is matching. So you got to empower your mind. Affirmations, it works. If you got to have sticky notes everywhere, I have so many notebooks. I won't say I journal, but I did. And journal look like to me videos. I don't have the dates or the time on everything. They not all not in one book. You probably like, what's she talking about here? What's she talking about here? I will use my notes. I will use a piece of mail. Like if a thought came in, I was just writing it down because your mind is literally racing. So your inner thoughts. And then when you talk about your mind, you got to learn how to calm yourself. I learned how to meditate during my cancer journey. And it wasn't because you got to be in the house. Me, I was triple negative stage 3 breast cancer. So I was in the house, and like in the beginning, they scare you, don't do this, don't do that. And so until you do your homework and really understand your body, because everybody is different, you like, okay, I'm staying in the house, don't come around, I'm changing this, I'm changing that. So I did a lot of things. I, of course, drunk my herbs, drunk my tea. I was already into it. I took baths, but not just regular baths, bubble baths, cutting off the light, telling myself don't rush to cleanse yourself, but just relax, just be still in a way, like just bring yourself to a calm state because you may got treatment in the morning. You may be a little shooken up, so you gotta give yourself some grace. It's a hard battle. So when I say mind over matter, it's doing tasks to help your mind stay focused. It's not just, oh, you could tell yourself this. No, writing down things. I have so many alarms on my phone to this day. What it's reminding me, be still, pray, smile. Remember, you're not in control. Help this. Like, I eat healthy, but it's only because I got reminders. Nothing is easy. My alarm will go off. Remember, you are what you eat. So if I'm in a store and that alarm go off, I have that reminder. So it's just helping yourself, help you in a way.
Right. Yes. And it's like I always say, keep the promises you make to yourself, right? And it's very important to be intentional with your thoughts, right? To be intentional with what you're thinking, with how you're living your life. Otherwise, the world around you, your environment will make it up for you. Easy, especially in today's world. It's so easy to listen to the wrong things. There's so much information, so it's hard it's harder than ever to discern fact from opinions
Oh
with
yes,
the internet and social media
with the
and
different
everything
AIs.
and AI. Yeah, half the time you can't even tell what videos are real anymore. And so it's very important to live life intentionally and
Yes,
to
it
make
is.
sure that you have, like you said, a plan and are always reminding yourself basically to stay focused on your plan and not let all the distractions of the rest of the world take you away from where you want to go and where you want to be, and where you want to get to, so that you feel purposeful so that you feel
Yeah,
like you achieved what you came here to achieve, right?
exactly.
And so
It's
I
having a
really like that.
confidence too. Confidence is big. Because if you don't have the confidence and believing you can heal, you could push through, it all play one big part. So it's like first just telling yourself, I got the confidence, I am able, I could do this, I am strong enough. If I'm not strong enough, I will become strong enough because we don't have it all figured out. I didn't have it all figured out. I was learning as I go. I was leaning on others. I was never scared to ask questions. I originally came to TikTok, and that's how I even got on TikTok. I was like, oh God, cancer, what is like whatever, but from the beginning, and I'm so grateful. I knew I was going to be okay. I told myself that day one. I told myself that like I was like, I'm preparing to turn 40. Who leaving getting up out of here from cancer? No, I gotta live out my 40. So that was my mindset
Mhm.
from the beginning. Like you wait till I get 40 and I get sick. No, okay, this is just a test. And then it is a test. You got to sometimes slow down and be like, what is this lesson? What is this trying to teach me? And once you have all that going on, you won't really think about the sickness. It'll be there. But you're like, okay, it's like school. I got a lesson I got to worry about. I got to have these bullet points. I got to have these tasks. I got to complete this. I got to pass the test. That's what you got to tell yourself.
Yes, I love that. Supreme confidence. That's what I call it. Having
Okay.
supreme confidence in yourself and your ability to achieve things, to do hard things. That is that's something that like confidence is learned, right? You
Yeah.
learn confidence from going through hard things and coming out on the other side, right?
Yes.
And doing that over and over again, right? And
Yes.
so I've always my entire life I've been a confident person, but I from a young age was it was instilled in me by my parents that I could do
Yeah.
anything that I want, that I should be confident, right? So that gave
Yeah.
me the confidence to try new things and to never
Yeah.
give up and to work hard and things
Then
like
you didn't
that,
have
right?
fear. Right.
And it exactly and it was and I learned to have confidence, right? And that's not everybody, but it's never
Hmm.
too late to learn to be confident. It just takes reps and time, but I love
Believe in
that
yourself.
also.
That's what they have to do. Just believe in you.
Yes. And it
Believe in
also
you.
comes from having faith in something that's bigger than you, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
Absolutely.
understanding that your life is happening for you and that you're not going through anything that you can't get through,
Nope. It was
and
already written. It's been
it
part of the
was
plan.
written
It's
as part
happened
of the
for you,
plan.
through you. That's what is happening. And sometimes
And
the lesson is to be still.
yes, and being able to just kind of like right not feel bad for yourself and being able to give that up to something a little bit more than yourself, right? And understanding
Absolutely.
that whatever it is, you can get through it because we're children of God or whatever you believe in,
Absolutely. We are
that
children of
it's going to
God.
be good.
Yes.
I also do like you say you write everything down because we're all human, like we forget things.
What?
And
Yes.
there's a reason why when we were younger we were taught how to write. We were taught how to type as technology, right, evolved. Like I was in
Mm-hmm.
school and we had computer class, right? But there's a reason why all through before technology and computers came, we wrote things down. There's something about
Yes.
writing
Writing
things
it.
down
Yes.
like that helps
Letting
you
it flow
remember
from
things.
your finger, then you read it, so you go break or retrieve it, and then you repeat it, and then it goes into your life. You just gotta let it go like that, and it will help you to hold on to that thought. You write it
Yeah.
down, you quicker to go back to it. But some of us be like, okay, I'm gonna just store it. No, write it down, store it as an alarm if you're gonna store it, but something that you could read daily because you don't know what the journey is going to do to you, and you want to. That's something that I did when I first found out I had cancer. I kind of did a video and was like, hey girl, this is how you look, this is what's about to happen. And I kind of gave myself a motivational talk, like come back and watch this, like this is how you feel now, you so strong right now, because I didn't know if I would break down, if it would beat me, if it would get the best of me, but I was coming up with tools to help me push through, tools to help me fight back. Like it's a fight. Going through cancer is legit a fight. It is a fight. To me, the journey comes after cancer. It's the healing journey. But while you're battling cancer, that's why that's the battle. Then it's the journey. That's a fight. So you
Mhm.
just gotta prepare yourself for the fight.
Yeah. I refer to cancer as war. I say is I'm going to war, and
Yes.
I need everything that I can get from the energy,
Yes.
from all the things that we've been talking about. I need it all to
I
be on point.
love that you said that because I was so mad that the ribbon was pink. I wanted it to be army fatigue. So I'm like, if I get my tattoo, it's gonna be army fatigue half pink because I'm like, this is war. Like I am in the battle. I'm on the front line. That's it. I'm like, they ain't tell
Hmm.
me how to use these weapons or nothing. Like, but I'm here.
Hmm.
I'm ready. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to fight. So it's
100%.
definitely it is.
So you speak about having a plan, right? And right, obviously that's important in all aspects of your life, but specifically with cancer, right? How did you feel about your treatment plan from a medical standpoint, especially and right, like we are people of color, we live in America. How did you feel about the treatment plan that was given to you, going through and figuring out your diagnosis with your doctors and things like that? Like I said, as people of color in America.
I reached out to my nurse friends because I just needed some type of support. You can't do it on your own. I didn't necessarily have family, but I knew that I came across some people. So I reached out to them, asked them to come to my appointments. They kind of wrote things down for me. They gave you a book. At most hospitals, they give you a book. I
Yeah,
took
they
that book
do.
home and I glanced through it, but mine was a little different because I didn't want to be too informed because then I was kind of an overthinker. I wanted to, like you say, have faith. So I wanted to trust that God put the right doctors in my path and I wanted to trust them. So I trusted they know the plan for me. I trusted it. And then I just said, okay, we're going to go through this. Now, I started off trusting that plan and we did go with that plan. But it was times within that plan where I had to say, no, let's pause. Let's take a break. Because I knew my body. They was just meeting me. And they say, oh, cancer is different for everybody. But then they go and give you this plan that say, oh, this is the treatment plan that typically works for everyone. So I was
Everybody.
like, I questioned it. And my doctor was like, I absolutely love. In the beginning, I think they was like, oh my God, here she come. But I questioned it, and it was like, how can everybody be different, but you're not incorporating my daily life, what I eat? None of that matters. Statistics matter. They are practicing science, so it was up to me to find that balance. Trust them with the science part, then trust myself to know that what I'm doing over here, but make it all come together and work together. And so that's kind of what I did. I trusted my doctor plan, but when the plan seemed a little off, I was like, let's just take a break. Let's just pause. And they listen, it's your body. And a lot of people, when they go through treatment, they don't realize that you can say, you don't necessarily have to say, I don't want to do treatment, but at any point during treatment, you can say, okay, I need a break. Oh, I need some more fluids. I need some vitamins in me. They are there to help you. But you got to speak up. You have to know your body. So that's how I went with
Yes.
my plan.
100%. You gotta advocate for yourself
Oh my God.
in your situations, because like you said, they're practicing science and basing everything off of data and research and numbers, right?
Yes.
So like you said, every case or every person is different, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no way to take into account everybody's lifestyle because they don't take
No.
into account your lifestyle outside of
And they don't
what
have to.
your
And a lot
treatment.
of people get that twisted. They are literally practicing science. So you have to trust them with literally that part. A lot of people get upset. Oh, my doctor. Sometimes you will find a good doctor that would try to count that in. Like I had to tell when you're taking herbal supplements, you have to inform your doctor. Just like if you're doing some other toxic things. You have to inform your doctor. You have to trust your doctor so that they can help you 100%. You have to tell them everything. And that's how I was. I told my doctor everything that I was doing. And I will also tell her, okay, I understand that you are practicing science, but outside of science, if this was taken away, I would ask her questions and she would give me her honest opinion. You just have to like be bold. Don't have fear. You fight the battle. Speak up. Advocate for
Speak up.
yourself. Yes.
And yes, and ask questions and do your own research too.
Yes.
That's a big part of it, is always doing your own research, because right, like we put doctors and healthcare professions on like this pedestal that they are so smart and they know everything. They went to school for X amount of years and went through a residency, and their
Mhm.
word is the end all be all, and that's not the case. They are still human just like
They're
us.
practicing.
They're
They're practicing
practicing
every day.
and they're
They're
still
practicing.
learning.
Exactly. Just like
Yes.
basketball players, anybody, they go to perfect it by practicing. So every
Yes.
human that they come across, they're still practicing science. Every case is different.
Exactly. And so, right. And for example, right, like none of my doctors could ever give me a very clear answer on what kind of diet I should have in order to help my situation. There was never
Mm-mm.
a clear.
Nope.
I even asked for dietitians, and I spoke with multiple dietitians that were given to me through my doctor or whatever, and every single one of them just at the end of the day said have a balanced diet. That was their advice while I'm going through, like you said,
What?
war, while I'm going through
Yes.
cancer. It was a that was that was the end all be all for all the dietitians. There was no you can eat this or this will help XYZ, or are what are your symptoms, this could help this symptom, or no, there was nothing like that.
They pushed me to eat what I usually eat because they were scared of the weight loss part. Because that's what they were so used to. So they was encouraging you to just eat what you enjoy. And I'm like, huh, no, that don't even sound right to me. So you can't be mad at them. You have to respect it, and it's a balance. You got to go home and do what's best for you. But that comes down to knowing yourself, knowing your bad habits, knowing your good habits, listening to the doctors and finding a balance. Don't try to become super healthy like it's gonna happen overnight if that never was your lifestyle, but slowly change. Give yourself some grace. And like again, like we said in the beginning, come up with a plan. Come up with a plan. Even when it comes to your diet. Okay, maybe you was eating candy or intaking sugar. Let's start slow. Think like this, okay, I'm finna go through treatment. The first thing it's going to do is break my body down. And if I'm taking in sugar and other heavy things, that's also going to break my body down. So what I would do is say, okay, if this is going to break my body down, what build my body up? And that's how I would balance my treatment. Okay, maybe I should do some blueberries, some things, some antioxidant things that's going to give me some energy, some that's going to strengthen my cells. Let me get this herb to do that. And that's how I literally would eat because at this point, you in a fight, you are battling. So everything is to help you through this fight. From what you eat, what you think, what you say, who you're around, the sleep, the calmness, everything is a part of the healing to help you just push through. So
Right.
no doctors didn't care about what you was eating. They like eat.
Yeah, they just again, it's just the science behind it, and they don't want you to lose weight. And yeah, they told me the same thing. Just eat, basically just eat whatever you want. Just make sure you eat, and make sure you are eating during your treatment so that you're not losing too much weight, cuz that yeah, that was their diet
You
right there.
heard that more than anything, and you like. Then once you gain weight, they came with, oh yeah, you can gain weight. I'm like, now you tell me, like pick a
Yeah.
side, pick one. So you just gotta kind of learn some things on your own.
So what kind of treatment plans did you go through that ultimately got you to where you're at today?
I went through 6 months of chemotherapy. I had the Taxol carbo combo. And I also had the what they like to call the Red Devil. I had
Mm,
that, which is a very harsh chemo. Then I
mhm,
went through 20 rounds of radiation, and I had a lumpectomy. In the beginning, they was like, "Oh, I will have both my breasts removed," but thank God that didn't happen. Like the
mhm,
plan just changed. So when anybody that's listening, when they first go to the doctor and hear about cancer, remember they have to tell you the worst because they just don't want to get your hopes up high. So don't just get scared right away. So they told me the worst of the worst, and none of that. The treatment did stay the same, but the other things after did not happen. I didn't have end up on after my lumpectomy. I didn't have to do more immunotherapy. I am on no medication for cancer at all. I have not been on any medication since the day I left my doctor's office. After I did 6 months, my first 6 months, because I'm fresh. I was diagnosed in 2024, beat it in 25, and then like this is my first year of really just trying to wrap my mind around it, which I'm not because of my father, but that's another story.
mhm.
So it was like everything they told me didn't happen to me. And I still trusted they plan, but as the plan changed, they kept me informed. So I'm very grateful for that. I do have to wear my my compression sleeve. That's like this is my medicine. This is my go-to. Most women have lymph nodes pulled out, and I only had one, and so my arm kind of swell up. The type of bra I wear matter. Like I thought I was like the itty bitty committee, and no, they are so important now. Like now they super important. I'm like, oh my god. So the type of bras I wear, the way I exercise, everything that I do remind me of this battle no matter how I look. It makes me go back to that treatment. Chemotherapy broke me down, so even now I'm still building my muscle back. I still have to take it easy. Things that I just used to do, it definitely changed me. So the treatment plan worked for me, and I trusted my doctors. And at the end, when they kind of say, "Oh, it's optional for you to do immunotherapy," I say, "If it's optional, I'm not doing it. But I trust you. If you say do it, I'm doing it." So that's how my plan went.
That's awesome. And it's awesome to hear that you don't need any medications
You know.
post post cancer. I know so many people that are on medications for the rest of their lives in
Yes.
order to make sure that because of side effects and things that are now going on with their hormones in their body or
Yep.
things like that based on what they've gone through. Like for example, after I've had two bone marrow transplants, all kinds of chemo, radiation, things like that. And so now I don't get enough oxygen and blood flow to my hip, and my hip is
Okay.
slowly breaking down. They call it necrosis. So
Okay.
like things like that, right? Like I don't have any medications. Eventually they say I'm supposed to get a hip replacement, but it's been now at least 2 years since they've told me that, and I've been able to stay extremely active and get strong in the gym, and I haven't gotten to a point where it's so uncomfortable or I'm in any kind of pain. I still snowboard and things like that,
Living,
and
love it.
and they told me straight up, "Oh, you need a hip replacement. We can do it right now." So again, do your own research, get second opinions,
Oh yes.
right?
If you feel like you
And
need one.
but also like know your body and know yourself, right? It was almost like they were trying to scare me into getting a
Yeah,
hip replacement.
they do
Yes.
try to scare you, and I
Yes,
think it's
because
just the way
that
they
makes them
go.
money.
Yep, yep.
It-
It's still a money
yes.
game. Cancer is a big money thing, and I don't, they care, but they're practicing and they have a job and they standing by oath, so they can't individualize us. We're grouped into, like you say, statistics. You working out though, that's putting oxygen into your body, so different exercises help that oxygen flow, so you can naturally heal yourself because the body is amazing, and that's what I learned doing cancer. Like I knew the body was amazing, but the way I watched my body break down and build itself back up, Oh my God, it just was amazing. It was really an amazing sight to see. And you don't know how bad it was until it's good again. So going through the battle, you didn't know, but now you probably look back at pictures like, wow, like what? Like I went through that. So it's a
Mm.
journey. It's a task. That battle is a task.
So I kind of want to rewind a little bit. So for anybody watching, can you explain to them what a lumpectomy is for them?
It's when they go in and remove the area that the cancer was in, and then they
Hmm.
stitch you back up. They do not remove the breast at all. They just remove the surrounding tissues that the cancer was in, and maybe if you had lymph nodes involved, they'll remove those. So typically after treatment, you shouldn't have any. The goal is for you not to have any cancer to remove. So they just go in and remove the tissue that was surrounding that tumor in hopes that it don't come back. And you just be left with a little scar, a little problems, but you don't have to have your actual breast removed.
That's cool.
So yeah,
That's
yeah.
that. And so, did when you caught your cancer, when you were diagnosed with stage three, triple negative, right?
Technically four, but that's another story.
Okay.
Ooh, I was stage four, but by the grace of God, my insurance kind of didn't do the scan. And so my doctor like, okay, we're going to start treatment. And you know, if you're stage four, you get a different kind of treatment. So she was like, okay, maybe the surgery. I'm gonna write it up that the surgery made your lump bigger. You were stage three, so we could go ahead and start treatment. So thank you. She started treatment, and once she started, I was triple negative stage three. Triple negative is one of the rare cancers because statistics haven't quite told them how to treat it. So they think, and that's why they call it rare. So my girls who got that, don't get scared. They call it rare because they haven't figured out the master plan. And there's really no master plan for it. But they do have a treatment that they try, a combo that they try. And for most women, it worked. For some, it don't. My first set of treatment, it worked. By treatment five, my lump was gone. And a lot of questions that people ask, so I would back it up so I could answer that is, how did I find out? I was sleeping and it was like I felt I don't dream of anything, but I felt like I was stretched Armstrong, so I know it was divine. And it was like my arms was wrapped around me. And then I felt like they were super long, so I was trying to like pull them and I came across the lump. And so when I woke up, I'm like, what was that? And I felt myself again. And I'm like, minor to me because I'm working out. I'm so healthy. I never thought cancer. Never. I'm so delusional. By the time they was even doing my biopsy, I'm like, oh, they been so extra. This is a cyst. And that's when so I did that. I was new to my neighborhood, new to my doctor. That's the only reason why I called him because I was like, oh, I could build a relationship with him. Let me just tell him about this. He sent me to get a mammogram. And then right then and there from that mammogram, they like, oh, you need an ultrasound. I'm now that I'm used to mammograms, I realize, oh, that ultrasound after means something. And right then and there, they typically say, okay, you got to come before a biopsy. Went back for my biopsy. My doctor called me right away and told me that I have cancer and did all the tests. And then they told me what kind of cancer. And then I just started treatment. And I was like, okay, okay. Luckily, I had everything right there in one hospital. I know some people have to travel. And then I just went through it. I just went through it. It was, oh my God, it was a battle.
Man, finding the way you figure that out is it's like I don't believe in coincidence. And so just the way that came to you, part of it is right like being in tune with who you are. And I feel like based off of this conversation, like you have a good handle of who you are and knowing
Yeah.
yourself, right? And I think that's very important for people to have for themselves, and that's not always the case for everybody.
Mm-mm.
But being able to right like feel that and 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 really kind of like listen to whatever you want to call it, right? Listen to your
Yeah,
body and just be able to be aware. It's like an awareness,
it
right?
is.
And it's really being aware and kind of like listening. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I'm so happy that you were aware
No,
enough to be able to
imagine.
understand.
Imagine going through that and that happened. Like I say, I now know God give me visions or nothing. Like say nothing is a coincidence. The way that happened, for one, I don't sleep like that. So it was divine for me to find it. And he was a test. Are you going to listen? And even though I say I didn't think nothing, my mind still listened because I still called my doctor. It don't matter in that moment what my thought was. I was going through with what I needed to do because I knew that it wasn't there before. Now, I always, and I'm glad I'm talking to a man, my biggest thing, and I know maybe when you were talking to men, ask them this, because, okay, we're adults. Men touches you. They touch you. How is it that no one felt that? That's something they touch the most. How is it a fear, or do they not know what to say, or are they not just, of course, in most situations, they just don't care about you, and I get that, but it's like, wow, that was my biggest thought. Like, wow, I'm sure this guy should have felt this. More importantly, I should have felt it, but I felt it in due time, and I give myself grace for that. But that's just a thought that come up, especially women who are married, who is with the person consistently, who should known them before. It's like I just wonder what goes through a man mind. Do you think to stop and say, "Oh, baby," some, or is it have women made it to the point where men are scared to say something? So that's like something that I kind of wonder about.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's just crazy in general the way that, yeah, like I said, I don't believe in coincidence,
No.
and like I said, I'm glad that you're aware enough to listen. And I was like you as well. I didn't believe when I found out that I had cancer because I went to an urgent care and the doctor, he knew immediately. He wasn't like my primary doctor. I didn't really have a primary doctor at the time. He was just an urgent care doctor. He felt my lymph node. I had a lymph node that was swollen in my neck.
Okay.
He felt my lymph node and kind of just asked me some questions, and he asked if he could give his honest opinion, and he told me straight up that I had cancer. And I was 19 at the time. I was
Oh my
19.
God.
Like you said, I'm active, I'm healthy. I've always played sports all my life. I don't really get health problems or get sick or nothing. No way I have cancer. There's It's impossible. There's no way. And sure enough, we go through the biopsy and do the
Yeah.
PET scan, and I have stage 4 cancer. It's bulky all the way through my
Oh
diaphragm, and and
wow.
we got to start treatments,
Did
and
what was your symptoms? I know you done probably told this story many times, but
no, yeah, so looking back now, I did have some symptoms. I had really bad night sweats, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I had never had that before, and I I didn't know why, and so that was a symptom. Looking back now, I know. I also, well, I had a swollen lymph node in my neck.
okay.
I thought it was just a knot in my neck. So originally, I went to my chiropractor and I told him to just rub this knot out of my neck.
Work it out.
I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I also was tired for no reason, and I still had like solid energy. But I remember telling my mom, and I kind of did like an experiment on myself. I because I would always work out before. I was in college at the time. I would always work out before I go to school and get my workout done early and then go to class. So then, and I was just really tired for no reason. So then I did an experiment. I said, okay, what happens if I don't work out? I made sure I got good food, I got good rest, and I didn't go work out. I just went up, I took a rest day and I just went to class. And then I remember leaving, it was my first class, and it's like 11 o'clock in the day, right? Right. So my class wasn't super early. It was my first class. All I had done was go to class and leave, and I was just exhausted. And I remember calling my
Okay.
mom and saying, "Mom, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just tired for no reason." And still at that point, I just thought I was just tired. It was just weird. I didn't know. I still did not think like, "Oh, I have cancer." But looking back, these were
No.
all symptoms of my body was kind of telling me,
Telling you. Yep.
and it led to similar to you. Like, I don't believe in coincidence. It led me to go to my chiropractor, who told me to go to the doctor, who eventually found out that I have cancer. And that is me just kind of being in tune again, knowing myself and being in
With
tune with my
yourself. You gotta
body.
know yourself.
And kind
Yeah.
of being an athlete all my life, I've always been aware of what's going on with my body, how I'm feeling, and making sure that I can perform at a high level for like my games or my tournaments or whatever that was, right? That's always kind of
Okay.
been my focus. So I always tried to do things like drink a lot of water and stay hydrated and not drink sugary drinks and things like that, not drink soda, things like that, so that I was able to be strong and play whatever sport I was playing, right? And so
Okay.
that is a part of me being able to be aware and figure out what was going on too, is just like my
Yeah.
upbringing in sports and stuff. So thank God for that. Like, there's so many ways. Again, it's not a coincidence that I was able to make sure that I was aware and get it taken care of. And my case was crazy. My case was insane. It took me about 10 years to beat cancer. For 3 of those
Oh
years,
wow.
I was healthy, and then I had a recurrence. Like I said, I had 2 bone marrow transplants. Like, it
Yes.
was not it was by far not a normal case of people that have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I
Mm-hmm.
have friends and other people that I've interviewed that had we all had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The general case, based off science and research, is the 6 month treatment, and it's
Yeah.
70% of the time it works. And of course, I was the 30%. So I went through all these other treatments. I even did an immunotherapy that was ultimately what actually got me healthy through all of
Yep.
this. And that was kind of a newer thing at the time. Yeah, it was like you said,
A
it was a
battle.
battle. It was war, and
Yes.
it was a it it was a third of my life. I'm 32. That was a third of my life, and my adult life, like my most recent third of my life. And so this is the longest time that I've been as an adult healthy and strong and living like a normal
Not
life.
fighting a battle.
Yes, yes. So
Wow.
it's a little bit
Wow.
that became such a norm dealing with cancer. And even now I still get a checkup every 6 months. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a big thing about all of this, right? After we beat cancer, then it's like a new normal, right? You're never going to be the same person that you were.
You're not the
And
same.
it's
Nope.
about like accepting this new normal, this new change. I talked about this. I do lives every week, and I talked about, right, accepting change and the new normal, because you were supposed to grow and change regardless as a person, right?
Yep.
That's the progression of life. We just happen to have cancer, and it happened to
Yep.
accelerate or amplify some of that change
Yes.
in different ways.
That growth.
And so
Yes.
it seems like, oh, I had cancer, so all this. Well, you were supposed to change. You're supposed to grow and
Yeah.
become
Yeah.
a more of a person to achieve
Because of
levels,
it. Yes.
yes, in life in general. So, I always say that I'm grateful for cancer for so
I
many
say that
reasons.
too.
Hmm.
I do too. I say I am very grateful for cancer because before I was diagnosed, I didn't have any symptoms. The year be like I have always been healthy and have healed myself naturally. I guess I never know, but the year before I found that I had cancer, I had the H. pylori virus, which is a stomach virus. And my body didn't even kind of break down then. I was just like, went to the doctor, did some blood work, and I ended up in the hospital. I had just got back from Vegas, never was weak. They like, you was walking around, you ain't faint. I was like, no, what is y'all talking about? My doctor calling me, I'm like, I'll come when I get off work. He like, no, you need to stop working now and come to the doctor. I'm like, I catch up with you later. So I didn't have no symptoms. So I think I kind of had to find that lump. And in my opinion, it had to grow that fast because I'm in tune with my body. All women, everybody, know your body, touch yourself, figure out your body. That's the only way you'll be able to tell someone something is wrong.
Right.
So it was just like I didn't really have any symptoms, but my body, I was okay. I was going to the sauna. I was working out more than ever. And then I felt it. So I had to find mine that way. But I was praying the year before. I got a relationship with God during my battle, but I only had faith. I didn't grow up in church or anything like that. And I was praying and I learned how hard prayers work. I really learned that. I was like, God, transform me because I was 39. I was preparing to turn 40. And this was like every day, this was me talking to him. Transform me into this grown 40-year-old woman. Like, yes, I'm this girl, I'm Prissy P. But I'm like, no, I want to be a 40-year-old woman. And to me, he did exactly that. I am growing beautifully. I have changed my whole entire mindset. I have learned so much about myself. And it's all because of cancer sitting me down and making me open my eyes. I came out of survival mode during my journey, which I don't think if I didn't sit down, I ever would have realized that I was even in survival mode. So that journey have opened my mind in ways that it wouldn't have happened if God didn't sit me down, if cancer didn't say, hey, you got to chill. You can't go around people. You got to get to know you. So it did just that.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? And
It is.
cancer is so crazy. When people hear cancer, they just think of people dying, right? And what we're saying here, both of us, is that cancer isolated us and taught us so much about ourselves, and we are better because of it. And
Yeah.
that's like I said, that's a beautiful thing. It gave me so much purpose in my life. Like you said, it did in a lot of ways wake me up, in a lot of ways lock me in more with my relationship with my faith and what I believe in. It also gave me a
Yes.
lot of purpose. I do things like this podcast where I share stories like yours of people that are healing and have overcome hard things in their lives and have become better people because of the things that they went through, and they didn't give up on themselves. They right,
Yes.
like we are resilient people, right? We are also
We
people of
are.
color, so we are naturally
Yes.
resilient people, and we are able to do amazing things that people would call a miracle,
Yes.
right?
Yes. We
And
are miracles. We are miracles. Everybody. I don't care what stage cancer. 0, 1, 4, 3. The people that I have came across during this journey is just amazing. It's just even for you to do things like this. I learned that this is part of our biggest task here, to share our
this
story,
is it.
to help others, because everybody don't have that motivation or that power, and we are here to pour that power into them. That's our job. It's part of our job. You could go to a 9 to 5, do all of that, but every single person walking this earth, it is your job to share your story. I don't care if you do it in a small setting. You do it when you're called to do it, don't get me wrong, but tell somebody you may went through something. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to hold back. Because what you have to say is, I got through it.
Yes.
I got through it. Because if you're still here, that means you got through it. Even if you're still getting over it. We both, and I'm sure you are, we're still learning how to heal. I knew that person that I was before cancer for 39 years, and she had went through some stuff. So this new person that I am becoming, I'm still learning her. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm learning how to dress because I don't like the way I used to dress because he turned me into that 40-year-old woman. It's then my hairstyle because I am still fresh, so my hair is still short. So my hairstyle, I wonder what is going to be my signature hair because I haven't figured it out yet. So people always talk about, oh, your hair is growing beautifully. They don't know there's like a big task amount. Like, oh, this is freaking me out. I don't have it all put together. The hair thing freaks me out. Like, what is going to be your new look? What hairstyle is you going to embrace? Because hair means so much more to me now.
Mhm.
It's not just hair. Like, so it's like, I'm very sensitive about it. I helped somebody comb their hair yesterday. They used my comb. She was like, I saw your face. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. So it's just, everything's so sacred to me now. My hair, the way I speak, what I do, my thoughts, how I spend my time. It's just like, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm learning it. I don't have it all figured out.
Yes, and really understanding the energy that is correlated with all of those things, right? And it's all the little things. I always like to say little things add up to big things, right? And I learned from my like my mentors, my aunt, my uncle, they're my mentors in my life, and they take all the little things so seriously. And I was taught from a young age to be very meticulous in all aspects and do things the right way, right? And it didn't always make sense to me, but I listened, right? And I could see the results that I would get. And then as I got older and I grew up and into the person that I am today, looking back, I now realize why the little things matter so much. And it's not even necessarily just the little thing itself, is kind of like almost just the principle and the mindset and how you feel, the energy that comes from doing every little thing a certain way. Then you have this supreme confidence that makes you believe that you did everything a certain way, and now you know, well, I tried my hardest, I did everything the right way, it has to happen, right? And then you
Yeah,
achieve
and
certain
something
results.
has to happen.
Some gotta
Yes,
happen. And so,
something gotta happen.
yes.
Even with me, like in my story, and I know I have to tell the whole story. The cancer thing is such a part, but to my people who have went through more than that, and then cause for me, okay, I was a teen mom. I left my parents' house early. All of these things I went through, but I got over them. I was okay. So when I got cancer, my biggest thing was I told God, don't change my heart because I felt like it was going to make me angry because again, I'm turning 40. I'm thinking it's my time to shine. My kids, I'm thinking like I thought that was my purpose. You overcame being a teen mom. You overcame not having your parents. You had the faith. You had learned how to forgive. You don't hate anyone. I thought that was it. That was my task. I'm like, okay, I've done that. What's next? He finna roll out the red carpet. I'm finna live joyfully. And then I got cancer, and it was like, okay, pick a path. Are you finna become bitter? Are you finna hold on to everything? So everything that I went through before that gave me the strength to push through cancer. So when people are going through things and then something else happens, let that be your strength. Let that be your strength. It may sound like, okay, I'm tired. Even right after my doctor told me that I got approved for a year mammogram. Again, I just did this 24, 25. So 25, I go to my doctor's appointment. She agreed with my mammogram because you get the mammogram when you're a woman. They tell you, oh, I suggest a yearly mammogram because typically we got to do 6 months. Then your doctor have to approve it. So a week later, I see my doctor. She say, I approve it. As I walked out of my doctor's appointment is when I found out my father was sick. So I never got to celebrate. I instantly had to come here to Springfield, Illinois, where my father is. And then he was diagnosed with diabetes and lung cancer. I could have instantly been angry, like, oh no, why are you doing this to me? But I realized, okay, I went through it so that I could walk you through it. And then I had the knowledge of how to heal myself. So we got through all of that, and then he just came up with more health problems, and that's like God way of telling me, the Creator way of telling me, you're not in control. Remember that,
Yeah.
because I had got so good with the herbs and the plants and the things that He put here. I'm just knocking anything out. My diabetes, fix that. the lung cancer. We cleared that up. We cleared up the lungs. It made it go away, but it didn't spread neither. We got out so much mucus with one of my blends. It was just work. So now my father, have been diagnosed with something that only he can fix. And now it's like another test for me. Like, are you going to fold now? What are you going to do? My birthday, guess what? My birthday coming up next month. I have yet to celebrate since I have celebrated because I have become a beautiful person through all of this, but I have yet to breathe. So I'm still learning a balance in between that, learning not to rush, learning that I'm not in control still. It's a daily reminder that I'm not in control and that I have to lean on someone bigger. So you just got to keep pushing through no matter what obstacle life throw at you, whether it's a sickness, whether it's mental, whether it's physical. You got to push through, push through, push through, because none of it is easy, especially not for me.
Mhm.
And you just got to know when to just be still. Like, I have to tell myself that because it's a lot. I'm like, I'll be in here like, whoa, whoa, why? I don't even ask why no more. I stopped doing that years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stopped.
I love that. Right. Like life prepares you 100%. I was prepared in so many ways to go through, and you're not the first person that's told me this, that you were doing XYZ before all this happened, and it was like life prepared me to go through cancer and to beat cancer. And it's just a great way to look at it, right? And you have a great mindset on how you're able to look at
Oh, thank
things,
you.
and that's not easy. It's not easy, and I know it's because you've gone through tough things, and like you said, you just got to keep going. And so, man, that's so cool. And I felt the same way. Like I said, I felt that I was prepared to go through
Yeah.
something like this. I had no thoughts of, oh, this is the end, I'm going to die because I got cancer. It was just, I remember, I'll never forget, my dad was nervous. I'd never seen my dad this nervous before, and he asked me, how are you feeling? You're diagnosed with cancer. He My parents have never been diagnosed with cancer, and they don't know what that's like, and it
Exactly.
seems crazy, like when you
Hmm.
hear that. And I'm 19, I'm their kid, I'm still a kid. And I told him very confidently that I don't know what this is, but I feel good and I feel strong, and we just have to do whatever we need to do to beat this. I was very confident,
Yep.
and that was the tone that was set from the get go for my parents and for anybody that ever spoke with me. And nobody thought that I was going to die because I had cancer, and it held through the and to this day,
Yes.
right? People know that.
That was my mindset.
Yes.
My mindset was, I'm going to beat this. And like I say, by me not having a big family or no one to really call, I did have my children, and everybody handled things different. So the people who couldn't handle it, you have to be so sensitive to everyone around you in a way that some can't handle it, some can. And
Mhm.
I had to learn to communicate how I was feeling. But because I didn't have a lot of people to tell, I this is how I first got on Facebook. I just did a video because I knew people would be talking. I live in a big city. It would get out. So I just got ahead of it. And a lot of people go back and watch that video, which I had to go back and watch it. And it was just, I set the tone of, I basically was telling them, like, yes, I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, but we're not going to worry about the diagnosis. I never told no one to stage until I kind of beat it, because everybody would freak out. Stage 3, stage 4, they equal death to most people. So I never said my stage for a long time. I just was like, I just want to stay happy. I just want to stay loving. I don't want no one to call me with sorrow. If you got to cry because that's your emotion, call me after you get done. I was like, because we will have a time to cry, and I will cry with you all, but right now, and it was just my thought. It was literally after like my second treatment, or I came home from treatment, and my mind just was like, get on Facebook. And
Mhm.
so I did my whole journey on Facebook. Then I got off
Mhm.
and I took a break.
Yes.
And then it was just like that mindset is what, and I kept that tone. I kept that tone. And then when I actually run the bell, I cried. And I got on there like, now we could cry. And I done did a video crying in between, but that was like my video that kind of linked to that first video to be like, guys, we could cry now. Like I beat it. Like I didn't think about who wasn't around or I didn't have a big family. Nobody on Facebook probably was paying me any attention, but that was my way of venting, and I
Yes.
just took it. Like and I got more people inboxes than any views or any type of numbers, whether TikTok, Facebook, none of them numbers matter. The amount of people that inboxed me and told me, you have encouraged me, you have changed my life. I could get through today because there's no way you did all of that, and I'm over here angry about this. And I done learned about so many diseases. I had to tell some people like, baby, I'm not a doctor. I'm sorry, but I'm not a doctor.
Right.
So the inbox is what matters. So when you tell your story, don't worry about people. Don't worry about numbers. It's like if you could only get one, if you could only get one, that's a difference. You made a difference,
You
and
made a
that's what I
difference.
roll with.
You made a
You made a
difference. And
difference.
that's why I do this podcast. I set out to do 1,000 episodes. And I said, if I helped one
Awesome.
person, if one person saw each of those episodes and it helped one person, and that's me, right? Like underestimating myself or lowballing myself, right? I said if one
Yeah.
person watches every episode, I helped 1,000 people overcome some kind of challenge in their life or inspired and
You
motivated
help them
a
share their
thousand people
story.
by sharing stories like yours. And
Yes.
that's what I set out to do here. And yeah, so I 100% agree with that. So
And you're doing it. You're
it's
doing it.
happening. I'm
It
doing
takes
it.
bravery to do what you're doing.
Yes, 100%. And so you spoke a couple times about some of the herbs you take, some of the herbs you help your dad take to overcome some of his challenges health wise. Can you explain or elaborate a little bit on maybe some of the herbs you have? I also know you have Prissy Passion teas that you got going
Yes.
on. Can you explain a little bit about that? What that is, what that does for you, and can do for people?
Yes. As a little girl, I was a teen mom, so somehow I never wanted to get into medicine. And as a 14-year-old girl, I learned about the hibiscus flower, which took me off of three blood pressure medicine. I didn't know then what I know now, but that is legit where I started without even understanding that it would turn into something big. Ever since I learned about that flower, I kept learning, kept studying, and it became like me just getting into natural healing. So I learned how to eat a certain way, learn how to look at different flowers and roots and spices because it's not just, it's all of it combined. And by the time I found out that I had cancer, I was already into like the soursop and the mullein leaf, which soursop help detoxify your body, help restore your cells, and it's also like an immune boosting. And then like the mullein leaf, it helped detox your lungs. So I had this knowledge, still not knowing that it would turn into what I now call prissy passion. As I was going through my journey, I kind of knew the knowledge of some of them. And so I was like, oh, wait, this helped with that. And they say they're going to break down my cells. So I started putting blends together off of what my doctor told me, like, okay, chemo break down your cells, you're gonna need a little energy, your immune system's gonna get weak. So I pulled these herbs and spices from my cabinet and started mixing them. And then when I started mixing, I'm like, okay, I don't like the way this tastes. So I'm in the house. I had a beautiful air fryer. I'm like, First, I was putting like my fresh apples in it and fresh oranges because of everything the doctor said. I'm like, okay, orange could have a little more vitamin C to go with this herb that's gonna boost my cells. So I started just bending and like mixing and boiling things. And then God gave me a vision. The Creator gave me a vision. And when the vision came, I had these recipes and I was like, I know what they mean. I know this is for inflammation. I know this is for metabolism. I said, let me try this. I learned what it was, so I'm able to say it was a vision I didn't know then. I just woke up like, what was that? What was that? And I went to my cabinet and I wrote it down. And then it was like, okay, this tastes amazing. So I was like, what is this? My mentor, I heard you say something about a mentor. Another young lady who actually was fighting stage 4 cancer was my mentor. And anytime someone would come into my home, I would offer you a cup of tea because tea, soup, and salad is just my thing. That's just my go to food. I love it. It's not because I was being healthy, it was like, this is what I like. I offer her a cup of tea. She paid for me to go to a vendor location and she said, this is a business. She said, Priscilla, this is a business. And I'm like, I never thought about it like that. While I was sick, I had already took a class because I'm just there and I wanted to learn more about it because that's just what I like doing. So I'm online. I'm taking this herbal class to give me a certification. And she said, I never drink tea. You just got me to drink a cup of tea. She said, I didn't want to tell you no because you just so nice. But she said, I don't like tea. And for me to drink this tea, and she paid for me to go to a vendor spot. And I just created this brand, which is Prissy Passion, which have a menu because I want a healing cafe. And that's my goal. So when most people see my style or the way I promote my business, it look like a menu, and it's there intentionally because these are the blends that he gave me to be in a healing cafe. It's such a bigger thing. And I want a healing cafe simply because I didn't have family when I was going through my battle and the cutting of my hair and the changes that I went through. I had to reach out. A barber cut my hair. I'm thankful he was so nice because that's a transition that could break you or build you, and he did help build me. But I'm like, I don't want people to go through this, so I want a cafe where I have a room where you can get that hair gear. Or I don't want to do hair because I'm not gonna learn that, but I want to wash their scalp and pour into them and let them know that it's okay because to me we don't have a lot of that. So that's my goal, and the herbs and the plants and the roots that I put here for us are very, very valuable. And they could just help you heal you inside out. Yes, you may need science, but you also need the gifts that are here right here with us.
Right.
So that's his Prissy passion. It's my brand. It's me. It's everything me. It's pure passion. Is what I like to say.
Yes, that's awesome. That's amazing. And so, can you tell people where they can find you, like on TikTok, and then in the future? I know you said you had a website. Can you tell people what that website
Yes,
is so that when this is all going, and I will link this in the bio of the episode as well in the
absolutely.
description so that people can find this and get some natural healing.
I am on, while I'm helping my dad, I kind of stopped being on there, but I have a lot of information on Facebook, which is Prissy T Passion. And of course, that's Prissy, Prissyt, and then Passion. So that is on Facebook, Prissy T Passion. On TikTok, I post and you can come across some of my videos. I don't really know my name on TikTok. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I got it up right here. It's all things prissy
There we go.
healing.
All
Yep.
things
All
Prissy
things
healing.
prissy healing.
That's
That's
me.
you on TikTok.
And then my Facebook page with my journey on there, which you can find me. You're gonna always find my brand. It's gonna be Priscilla Jones on Facebook. And my website is coming and it's almost finalized, so I will get you that link. I don't know about her yet. It's like I'm battling my dad, building it, just staying focused. I'm trying to make
Mhm.
sure I'm doing them all. So that will be done like next week. He's finishing the last little. He released it, but I found the little couple of errors, and I needed to be prissy, as that's how I am. So I will make sure that it's perfect for you guys. And yes, the herbs are great. I dehydrate my own fruit. I mix my own blends. I'm very careful about what I do. I don't use a lot of the popular herbs. I'm sensitive to allergies. So yes, absolutely check me out. If it's something on there that you don't see on my menu, I have it. I can personalize. And if it's a herb or a fruit in there that you are allergic to, I can remove it because I do use like coconut and lemon and different things because they have great benefits. So
Okay, cool.
that's, yes, you can find me on all those platforms.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to make sure
Absolutely.
when you release this website that I am a customer
Thank
and
you.
that I
Absolutely.
get me some Prissy P herbs. So
Yes.
that's all we have today on this episode of Beast vs Zombie. Thank you so much, Miss Priscilla, for joining me
Thank
and
you.
sharing your story with me today and sharing some more about your journey and what it takes to overcome challenges in your life. I really appreciate your time. Everybody that's watching, go check out the podcast on all socials. Check out the website, BeastVsZombie.com. You can get gear like I'm wearing here. A percentage of all proceeds goes to cancer research and cancer awareness. So make sure to go check that out. Go check out Miss Priscilla on all of her socials. Have a good week, you guys. Be a beast.